Hi everyone, it's Sue here from Scrappy Doo Sue. Right, so today I'm going to do another episode of the Edith Holden 4-season series, and it's the spring journal. So when I left you in the last episode, we matted all the sides of this 4-envelope journal. Well, it's a folio really, I keep calling it a journal. So it opens up like this. So we've now put the ribbon in, we've matted the front and matted the back with all the pages out of the section in Edith Holden Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady book. The sort of section that covers end of March to sort of beginning of June. So it opens up, so we've got two side pockets here, and I've matted the background of those and strengthened these here like I said I would. Then we open it up. We've still got to find a closure for this, but we've got a little gate fold here and possibly going to put a pocket in there. That's made out of, I don't know if you can see that because it's long. So there's the gate fold, and this is made out of one picture out of the book, and I just cut it in half and made two panels so they meet and join together. And we've got this envelope here, and I've matted the back and strengthened there, and that's got a lovely butterfly, and I thought that was a nice spring green colour. And then again I've matted the back of that envelope and strengthened this for a side tuck. So then I'm just going to pull it along a bit so that you can see, and this is another side tuck pocket here, matted the back and strengthened the back of that. Then we have these two envelopes here. We've matted those, so we've got quite a few journal cards and pieces to make. Then we have an envelope here. This is one of Violet's lovely envelopes, and that's already got a little piece of paper in it. So we don't at the moment have anything on here. Then we've got this pocket at the back, which I've just shown you, and it shuts like this. Now, when I last saw you, I said I'm going to make a little journal to go in it / notebook type of thing, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do about it. So this is the one I've made, and I made this off camera. I haven't finished it, I've just done the basics. So I found all the paper that I want to put in it. So we've got a page out of the nature notes of the Edwardian Lady, and that's going to be a pocket there which I've made. That's a piece of music book, the front cover of a music book, which is a lovely colour. Some tea-stained paper, some digital ledger papers, music paper, more tea-stained paper there, a page out of Creating a Butterfly Garden, which is in the Edith Holden style, a coffee stained paper, some lined paper, more tea-stained graph paper which has been stained, and just some normal notebook paper, piece of colouring paper, two-sided. Thought that was nice. This one pulls out like this. Haven't decided yet what that's going to be, because that could make into a nice little pocket up there and a side tuck here. I thought that was quite nice. Lots of journaling paper. Tea stained piece of that lovely deli paper that Julie from CameliaCrafts sent me in Happy Mail, and a page out of Edith Holden's Country Diary, and then you've got all the other sides of those there. So what I'm going to do, I've made a decision, is I'm going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch and stitch these together so that it's one notebook / journal, whatever you want to call it really. So this is a digital, was a free digital from the internet, which I just like the colour of it and everything. And then I've just layered up this label here with some cotton and different scraps, and put a little note on, little label I should say, saying notes. And down here we've got an image from Edith's country diary, and that is really all I've done to it so far. So once that's sewed together with the 3-hole pamphlet stitch, I've decided I'm going to use this time white elastic, and I'm going to attach it round the spine with that elastic. So this then is a movable book in and out, and if the person who has this wants to add another one in, they could, or if they want to, when they've used this one up, replace it with another one, then they can do that, because it can just slip out. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so that's that. And then I said I would decorate this. So as I'm not going to be sewing the spine, we can then add the lace and everything that we've got to go on the spine, which I'd already sorted out. So just put that to one side. I'm just going to, oh, picked up a whole load of labels that are on my desk. So I keep bits out on my desk. I don't know if you do. I have a tendency to. So what I want to do is I've made sure that these kind of all fit in. So I just want to make sure that they're all up the right side, up the right way, and I just want to make sure that these are in the position I want them in before we even think about sewing. So I'd quite like to move that one up a bit and move those down a bit. I find this a tricky bit really, because mine have a tendency to move, so just want to make sure those are where I want them. So I kind of end up taking them out, putting them back in one by one. Just move that out of the way. So they're not in any particular order really. Sometimes I put them together like this, and then I decide to change the order nearer the time. So in fact I might swap that one for that one. And that's this one. And this piece of old age parchment style paper that you can, I bought the parchment paper and I've printed on that side. I think that's where I got that from. The deli paper gives a nice extra touch, I think, because you can actually see through it. So I'm then going to get my heavy ruler and make sure they're all in position where I want them. And then I've got to find some clips. Now I only seem to have really small clips, so let's see. Sorry, I think I just banged the cable. It's charging. Okay, so what I would do is clip this top end like so, and then just making sure again that they're in the right place and that they're all going to catch in the seam. Yes, they will do. Okay, and then I have a piece of foam. It's just packaging out of a box that I kept. And oh, that clip, see, that's not really that effective, that clip. That must come off. Okay. Just have a look in my drawer, see if I've got anything bigger clip wise. I should have a look before I started filming. No, I don't seem to anything I can see in there, which might be a bit better to use, is this giant paper clip, so that might be okay. So just want to make sure that they stay where they were, so that's probably a lot more effective than the other one was. Right, okay, then I've got my trusty jar and I want my awl. So I am using one of my big eyed needles and some of my just plain off-white wax thread, and I'm just going to make mine 3 times bigger, because what I'm finding is just over 3 is I'm finding that I'm wasting a bit of this thread. I've got a jar full of bits now like these because there's too much at the end, so I thought, no, I'll start slimming it down a bit. Right, okay, I'm just going to eyeball my 3 holes. You can measure. Just want to make sure those are all in the right place and are not hanging out. This is the bit that I want to make absolutely sure is right as much as I can. Okay, so I'm just going to eyeball my holes. So I'm going to go roughly 1 inch from the bottom, 1 inch from the top, and then 1 in the rough center. So be careful when you do this. If you hold it into like a V, you're sure to get the holes through that spine that you've made, otherwise you might not. So put that away now. Get a needle out. So I pick a needle that has a fairly big hole but is not too fat in the body. Some of these are, and they will make a bigger hole in the actual journal. So that's what I'm kind of looking for, a slim one. So I can see one there. These are all slightly different. So I'm going to go with that one. Actually, that's a better one. Right. Put these all back. And I just bought this pack on, one dropped into my lap, pack on, I think it was Amazon. Yeah, it must have been Amazon. Big-eyed hand sewing stitching needles, that's what they're called. And you get a whole pile of them like that, which I keep in this jar. All my sewing bits are in one place. So I need a big eye, I'm afraid, even with my glasses on. So it depends where you want your tie at the end. Do you want it to come out into the middle? Do you want your tie to be here, or do you want your tie on the back? I want mine to be in the middle. So I'm going through that side, aren't I? Now I always have to remember this, going through the middle hole from inside to out. oh gosh, that's hard. And then I'm going to just pop that under there so that I don't pull that all the way through like so. I'm sure you've seen this a million times. And I'm going to go into that hole that I made in the back, and it's already coming straight out. So I find sometimes this wax thread, when it's doubled up, it doesn't want to come out. Gosh. Right. It depends on your papers, so I'm going to take that out and what am I doing? Let me see if I've got a needle with a smaller eye, because that's, sorry about this, that's much slimmer. Okay, let's use that needle instead, because I think this is too wide, this eye, when you look at the difference. Now whether that's going to help, I don't know, because it's the wax thread I find is when it's doubled over like that in the needle. It took me a long time to have the confidence to do these, make holes in what you just made and do it. So hopefully that is going to go through. Gosh, there's some piece of paper in there that it doesn't like. Okay, so we've gone through front to the inside to outside, back into the top hole, then we're going to go back into the bottom hole down here like so. Oh, the top hole in this case, doesn't matter which hole you go through, top or bottom first. So you've got your stitch running down there, and then you're coming back up through this center hole here, and this can be a bit tricky because what you want to make sure, and I want to make sure I'm going through the same hole, I don't want to make a new one, is you want to come up and you don't want to split what you've already got through. You don't want to split this one here. So probably making this look terribly hard, and it isn't, honestly. Gosh, that is tough to get through. So one of those. So then before I tie it, I want to make sure that it's tight on the outside. So you've got to be brave and pull it so you've got it tight there, not too tight, otherwise it could tear what you've already done. Then you want to tie it off. So I'm just going to do 3 knots there. I always do 3, although the wax thread, it doesn't come undone. So now you can see what I mean about there being too much, and then you end up cutting off some of it here. You can keep them long if you want, but I don't like them too long unless it's a complete journal or a standalone journal, and then I might make them longer to have a, you know, a charm. But I don't want this to be too bulky, so let's just take the clips off here and here. Put our needle back before we lose it, because I have to be careful. I don't want it on the floor and Paddy Dog to get it in his paw. So, oh sorry, I've done it again. Right, so that's stitched, so that's not going anywhere. So that's all stitched, and we can work on that later on. So that is now going to go in the middle here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my elastic, and this is hat elastic, and it's doesn't actually say what weight it is, but I bought it on Amazon, and no, it doesn't say what weight. So I bought a black one and a white one. So this I think is more appropriate for a spring journal, a white one. So I don't need that now, that packaging. So just undo this. I wish they wouldn't put this tape around everything. It's so annoying, I find. Have you ever seen sometimes on a birthday card? See, there's another piece underneath there now. So that's overkill, really. So on the birthday card, sometimes they put a sticky label with the price on in the UK. And sometimes they're really hard to get off and can leave a mark. It's so annoying. Well, I find it annoying. So I'm taking my elastic. I'm going to go round twice because I figure that if I put 2 lines of elastic in here, then that allows for 2 things to go in here, 2 items to be popped inside. It just has that bit more scope. So I'm just going to cut it off there. I'm going to tighten it a little bit more. It's not easy with elastic to tighten it, actually. And then I'm going to tie a knot in this too. And this is not always easy because you're doing it single-handedly. So it's almost like you want someone to put their finger there. So again, I'm going to do more than 1 knot just to make sure doesn't come undone, and then I shall just trim that down so the middle is looking like that, and I'm just going to tuck those under there. Like so. Right, okay, so now that's inside our file folio, envelope folio, Susan, don't keep calling it a file folio. Right, and now it's quite bulky, so it does need the tie. So okay, so to work on it now, I'm just going to pop that back out. So as you can see, all it means, it's all sewed in. Just pop it in, take it out. It's very easy. So put that to one side for a second. Okay, so what I want to do now is I wanted to decorate the spine and the front. So now I've decided what I'm doing with the journal / notebook that's going in the middle of it. They're all straight like that. I can now cover this. Right, so my idea was, and I've cut this down, this was a wide panel. I want a piece of this here, a piece on the back in the same way, that way round, I think, yes, that way round. So I want it like that, and then this lovely cream ribbon is going to go over the top on the outside like that. I thought that looked nice, so let's get that on. Okay, so I don't want too much showing, but I want enough so that it's double layer. I'm going to use Beacon 3-in-1, and I'm just going to, I've got it in the right position so I know the width. So I'm just going to put some of this down here. Not too much, don't need masses of this glue. And this is going to go like that. Okay, and I just want my dry cloth to just pop that down there. Okay, I'm going to turn it over and do the same on this side here. So there doesn't seem to be a right or a wrong way. In fact, I prefer it that way round, like I did the other side. So again, I'm just going to gauge that edge where I want it to come to. The glue, I don't want it overlapping this because it will be all sticky. I'm only squeezing that very lightly. Okay, so this is now going to go here, and I can see from the front piece that that's a good position. Like that. Okay, so I'm going to turn it back over, and now I want to stick this on, and I don't think there's a right or wrong side for this either. It looks the same both sides. So I think we'll have, yeah, it's the same. Very pretty that. It's like organza with embroidery on. It's very, very pretty. So I want that now to fold round there. And how much have I got this side? So I kind of want it the same. So I've got it there and there. So I think that middle line down there of stitching is going to go on the spine. So yes, I am going to not glue the middle bit of spine in case this needs to come out. I don't think it will. So just kind of making sure I know. That's good enough for me, I think. Maybe there. Right. I'm just going to pop that down there and turn it over and smooth that over there like so. That needs just a tiny bit more glue. Right. Okay, just going to put the pin in that. I can trim this off once it's dry. Okay, so, you know, imagine that's trimmed off there and there. So I want to put the word spring on it because that's what it is. And I've got all this, all these bits that I had in Happy Mail from Splattered Inky. So I want to use some of this. So my thinking is I want to use a piece of this cheesecloth first of all, because I love the colours. of it. So I may just trim that off there a little bit. That will go in my scrap jar. And I just want a piece like so, really. And my fingers are a bit iffy. Oh, hello Paddy dog, have you come to see what Mummy's up to? Then I've got this little scrap of, so I want to cut that down. I don't want all of that. It's lovely lace. So, oh, have you come to tell me that Daddy's put the kettle on? Okay, so kind of want some of that green showing there of the cheesecloth. Right, what else have we got? We've got this scraps of eyelash trim. Oh, that I've used bits of, so that would be quite nice. They're nice spring colours. I might just trim that down for a minute. That's quite nice. Oh, very sticky. And what about a piece of that, which is also from Splattered Inky, so that maybe could make a nice spring sort of cluster there. So what does that look like? Oh, I quite like that. Let's move some of those bits of eyelash trim out. Oh yeah, I like that. What do you think? That's quite pretty, isn't it? I do like that. And then I had got some when I made my spring journal last year, beginning of last year, I printed off some, obviously some digital kits, and I've got like some phrases here like wear spring flowers in your hair, or spring comes from the heart, or spring is calling to me. So I want to put one of those on, I think. Maybe cut that one down a bit and put that down here. Spring comes from the heart. So I think I might cut that on the guillotine because it's not got a lot of room for manoeuvre, and I'll end up, if I can manage to do it on here, I'll end up cutting loads off. Hope everyone's doing okay today. We've got a very dull, dismal day for a Saturday here today. We've just been doing housework. When I say we, I'm lucky that my husband, he helps out, you know, because we both work. So he's actually done the hoovering upstairs and down, so that was very handy. Much appreciated, actually. Topped up the bird feeders. We've now had Mr. and Mrs. Blackbird, Mr. and Mrs. Robin, great tit, blue tits, and another little bird that appeared yesterday, and we're trying very hard to establish what it is, and we're not sure at the moment. So that, I think, go down there like so. I'm just going to glue that like it is, actually, I think. Right, let's think about that. Okay, so I want to glue these down. So I'm just going to lift them up, and I'm going to put an area of this beacon 3-in-1 there, because I want to keep it how I had it, because I kind of like that. So that's stuck that down. Now I'm just going to lift this up and stick that down, and then we don't need to worry about the eyelash trim, because that will stay underneath whatever it's on. So I'm just going to put some glue down like that, and then glue this down. Hopefully this is going to work. I'm making a right old mess, which I always feel I am doing with this glue. So okay, so I wanted some of the green sort of down the bottom and out the top, so you can, with this beacon 3-in-1, you do get a bit of time to maneuver a few things. Okay, so now I can see I need a bit more glue under here. So that's going to stick down like so. Right, I really like that. That will stick down. It's just needs me to hold it for a few seconds, I think. Okay, so down here, I don't know that I want to put it on anything. The only thing I could think of would be, because I've got lace here, we've got fibres and bits here, is if I cut a piece of this webbing off. It's on the side of my desk, but I don't know if I'm going to like it or not, so I'm just going to see what this is going to look like, whether it's going to be overkill. Oh, actually that's quite nice. So scrap jar. Okay, so we'll put this down here. Oh, this glue, the only drawback with it is it makes my hands all sticky, and I really don't like that feeling. So just going to pop a bit along here, spread it out, and pop that there, I think. Okay, right. Oh, goodness me. The pin is stuck to the dry cloth, and I've got fibres stuck to the top of the glue, so I'll sort that out. Okay, so that's the front done, and we can trim this off. I think I'll leave a little bit hanging over, and same this side. Like that. Yeah, that's better. Right, and that is the spring journal envelope folio, and this is the journal that's going in it, which I will obviously be working on, and that is going to pop in the middle there like that, and then that will shut there, and we just tie this up, and that is it so far. So that's the front decorated, and I may leave the back because it's a beautiful picture, absolutely lovely.